Hey everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show. Boy, do we have an exciting guest joining us here. It is a real pleasure to have him. He is from Blue Man Group, and he's one of the Blue Men joining us here on the show. Yes, Patrick Newton is here. And if you are not familiar with the incredible, internationally revered Blue Man Group, take a look at this. How cool is that? And Blue Man himself, Patrick Newton, is joining us here, coming to us. They're on the road right now. They're touring the country from Philadelphia. Patrick, welcome to the Jim Masters Show. What a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's really cool, and it is our honor. Uh, I've just been so blown away by Blue Man Group all these years. You guys are absolutely incredible. You put on an extraordinary show. I've had an opportunity several times to be right there in the rows of the various theaters in the New York area and New England area to see you guys. And it was very familiar from my work many years on PBS because there have been Blue Man Group PBS specials that have been so well received and so much more. It's incredible. Are you ever blown away by the response from the actual audience, the super fans who absolutely love Blue Man Group? Does it ever just, you guys sit back and say, wow, they really, really enjoy and appreciate what we do? Because there's so much hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that goes into every single thing that's Blue Man Group, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, honestly, oh, I don't know about, maybe every night there is kind of a moment, I think, where we all individually realize, like it's amazing that the show has had this kind of staying power and this level of impact on this many people, nationally and internationally, where we get the chance to kind of do this show for people and it's received in the way it is, having such an impact. It blows my mind almost every night.
What is it like? What does it take to put the performances together? I mean, how many months in advance is it to really, because it's so exacting and it's so exhilarating and so vibrant and so colorful, and it's precision. It really is precision, craftsmanship, artistry that you
Yeah.
guys are doing. Well, what does it take? So when people go to the shows, and they just sit back and they take it all in and they're blown away. But behind the scenes, what is it like putting that all together? It's got to be really intensive, huh?
It is, and I appreciate you saying that. I don't know that everyone always thinks about that when they watch the show, and hopefully they don't really think about that. We want them to kind of take the show in and take whatever they take from it, which isn't necessarily all the behind the scenes, the work that we're putting in. But to your point, there's an extensive training process when we become the Blue Men, and then the show itself has been developed over years and years, and we're still developing. I mean, we're always tinkering, we're always tweaking. I'm actually going in to the theater a little later today to look at some lighting things that we're working on. We're constantly trying to evolve and keep up with the current state of things and provide a show that feels fresh and new and hits the way we want it to.
It's really amazing. It's hard to believe that it's going to be 40 years since Blue Man Group was formed and just burst on the scene. I can't believe that. Tell us about, for anybody who's not familiar with the theme, the feeling, the message, the vibe of Blue Man Group, which is really extraordinary. There's absolutely nothing on planet Earth that is similar to Blue Man Group. It's just completely unique. It's an extraordinary in-depth experience, multimedia experience, all those things you want to say, the music and just the artistry of it all. But what was the original idea and hope that people would get out of a performance of Blue Man Group? What was the vision from the beginning back in 1987 when they burst on the scene out of New York?
Yeah, so I think it's funny. I kind of wonder sometimes, the original kind of thought or intention. I know that when the original guys were getting together, I know that I clearly look as though I was as working at that time, but I was not. I was a bit young then, but I know that they were getting together even with a larger group and talking about kind of the intersectionality of culture and art and identity, and they were trying to figure out a way, hey, how do we present some of these ideas to the public in a way that nobody has seen before. And then this character was created, and they started figuring out ways to kind of have this interplay with maybe everyday things out of our lives, but with a different kind of take, where it forces the audience to look at themselves and look at their own lives from a different perspective, and kind of take the blinders off and see our lives and each other in a new kind of way. And I think maybe that is something we're still trying to do now, to have people realize something new after seeing the show. Realize, hey, I realized I had a great time. Obviously, I was it was joyful. It was an incredible experience, but I'm walking away with something that I didn't enter the theater with.
Absolutely right. And again, for anybody not familiar with the group, Blue Man Group's an American performance art company based in New York City, created back almost 40 years ago in 1987, known for its stage productions that incorporate many kinds of music and art, both popular and obscure. And of course, the Blue Men are painted blue, which that is a whole thing. Just what is it like for even that to happen? How many hours does it take? They're mute during the shows as well, and always appearing in the groups of three. But that must be quite a process to transform into, the Blue Men.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we talk about, we almost wish that, we would just be tied up by our ankles and just, dropped into a big vat of paint. And maybe that would just be, an easier experience. But unfortunately, we don't have the tech for that yet. So currently, we still, apply the whole thing systematically, step by step. Obviously, you can see from those images, there's no hair, and I do have hair right now, so there is a bit of theater magic that happens without giving too much away. But it is a process, and it's kind of cool because we talk about at the same time that we're putting all of this. It's almost like in some way a suit of armor, because the only thing that is left. That is from ourselves is kind of the whites of our eyes. Everything else is covered. The same time we're doing that, we're kind of removing or attempting to remove this kind of social mask that we all put on every day when we go outside. So it's kind of psychological the same way it is physical every single night.
It's extraordinary. And, just showing some of the images of what people can experience, but the lighting too, and the
Mm,
arrangements, that is extraordinary. It's a really visually stunning experience from the moment, the first beat of a drum. It is really something. And the high energy too, and the immersion. It's an immersive experience. I mean, the
yeah.
audience themselves feel so invested and so involved. It really is something unique and special. And you change it up too, right? If somebody has been to a Blue Man Group performance, 8 years ago or what have you, it's always evolving. It's always growing. It's good to go out and check it out again, because there's new nuances and different things that you guys add each time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the show obviously it changes. We tweak it, we change it. There's still some of the classic pieces when people come. They want to see some marshmallows, and they want to see some paint, and they want to see some drumming, and things that I think everybody enjoys about it are still there. But in between there, we have a lot of new material. We have new characters. We have kind of a new attitude how we approach the show, to make it continually relevant. And then even on a nightly basis, I think people don't always realize the power that they bring as the audience, because as performers on stage, there is this interaction, there is a back and forth. We take what's given from the audience and kind of transform that into the energy of the show. And sometimes that's just, maybe the vocal response of what we're hearing. And other times that may be actual physical interaction where, we come possibly have a situation where audience member or members become part of the show. And when that happens, obviously it's a total wild card. It's a bit of a gamble. And sometimes that payoff is so sweet because you have these really, real kind of in the moment interactions with people that provide some like honest, hopefully honest comedy most of the time, but also some really kind of sweet, interesting moments of just like real humanity.
Now, tell us about your role and what you're tasked with, because you do a lot of putting things together and organizing and strategizing and scheduling and all of that. As they call him the Blue Man Captain, but he's humble. He said, "Just call me the Blue Man." But tell us about the work that you do, Patrick. It's pretty intensive too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely make the schedule, and that is always interesting because everyone's got some requests we got to do. But beyond that, yeah, there sometimes now I've become a bit of kind of an intermediary between our direction team for Blue Man Group and then our kind of our local show here or as it travels. So just for example, yeah, we're, like I said before, we're working on some things to make the show better. It happens to be some lighting things and some sound things right now. And so I'll go in the daytime and work with our production stage manager and our lighting programmer and our sound engineer, just to kind of facilitate and make sure that we're all aligned and on the same page with continuing to try to make this thing better. Because it's art, it's alive, it changes, and I feel incredibly grateful that I get to be in this position where I'm just kind of helping this thing get better and bigger and make more of an impact.
For anybody, again, that's not familiar, you dive into the thrilling Blue Man Group experience, which truly is a blend of captivating music, interactive art, audience engagement as well. They get you involved. They create a fun, disruptive, and out of the ordinary atmosphere that truly exhilarates the senses, and it uplifts spirits for all ages, right? All ages can come and they'll experience something incredible at a Blue Man Group performance, right, Patrick? It's for
Yeah,
everybody.
it is. It really is, and that's like it's such a joy. Honestly, I think about this almost every night. It is an incredible blessing to have a job where I get to bring joy and laughter and light to everybody and anybody, in a world where sometimes it feels pretty difficult and things feel challenging to people. I think it is an incredible gift to be able to have this many people in a room and have my job just to kind of relieve some of that, or take that off people's shoulders.
Take it off their shoulders. So you're presently on tour now. And what is that like, the tour experience? I mean, you got to go from city to city, set it all up, do it. You guys get some rest, you get some sleep, and you go to quite a few cities, right?
Yeah. We're kind of on this tour all over the country right now. And we've recently come from touring all over the world, actually.
Right.
I've been on tour for a minute now. We've been, to Asia and Europe and kind of Central and South America. But now we get to come back to the U.S., which we haven't been for a while. And that's super special for me because not only, are there little creature comforts that I get to experience, like, I honestly, nowhere else in the world will do a mom and pop greasy spoon diner. It's amazing. They cannot do it anywhere else.
Right.
But I get to have these kind of things. But then I also get to bring this show that I'm incredibly proud of, and this experience that we get to do every night to my home country, and get to travel around. And it's amazing the interactions that you have with people all over the place. The little conversations at a diner in the morning, or or wherever you go out maybe afterwards at night. And even the people at the theater, they're really kind of different and specific, and I do feel like I kind of take something and learn something from everywhere we go.
That's incredible. What are some of the places around the world that you guys have been? Because that's kind of cool too. It's great to be home and be able to go to that diner and have that tuna mountain coffee, which I love
Yeah.
doing too. But slice of the pizza, the whole bit.
Uh-huh.
However, some of those places you've been around the world as a group have been really spectacular, right? It's like memory building that you
Oh,
guys are experiencing, right?
yeah, absolutely. I had to learn how to use Instagram in a kind of different way so I could keep this kind of photo album that, I realized that we don't have photo albums, physical photo albums anymore so much. We don't take pictures like that. So I had to figure out how to do it digitally. And I now look back and all these pictures and little videos I've taken and realize that, yeah, it's been an immense learning experience. I mean, to live in these places, to spend significant time in other places around the world, it really, I think, changes the way you think, opens you up in a different kind of way to realizing that, sometimes these cultures can feel really, really different, but then you do a show like this where it kind of appeals to everyone, and you realize we're also not that different. Like there's so much of the show where we realize, the sameness of humanity, the sameness of people, no matter where you are. It's kind of a crazy experience to feel, have both of these things at the same time.
Now, of course, one of the things I heard is whether it was in the beginning when you were born, it now is your favorite color has to be blue, right? It has to be blue. We even put a blue background on for you guys, blue graphics, got the blue lamp over them, wearing the blue.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
love it. I love it. Honestly, yeah, it's great. Now I feel silly that I wore red today, but what was I thinking? No,
Hey,
I do love it.
you're in a hotel in Philadelphia, you got the show on and everything. You're doing the best you can, I tell you. Now, this is fascinating too, because is it that a typical production employs like 7 to 9 full-time blue men who are selected by audition? And of course, in addition to the stage shows, Blue Man Group, as you mentioned, toured nationally and internationally, appeared on multiple television programs as characters and performers, released multiple studio albums, and contributed to a number of film scores and performed with orchestras around the United States as well. So it's much more than just what we see at the one performance, maybe that we go to. You guys are doing things all the time, right?
Yeah, there is a lot that maybe goes on behind the scenes, and it's funny sometimes. I think oh, yeah, I wish people knew about kind of all these moving parts, and kind of how we make this thing happen. And then at other times, I think I think some of the magic when you see a show comes from the way we think of Santa Claus. If you go around at Christmas and you go to a mall and anywhere in Middle America, you're going to see multiple Santa Clauses. But in your mind, there's only one Santa Claus, and he just makes his way over and every single mall, and then on Christmas night makes his way everywhere. Sometimes I compare it to that and hope that when you see the show, you realize it's three blue men on stage. They're really living in real time, making this art in real time, having an honest, genuine experience there, and forget about all the other stuff. But so it's kind of a mix. But you're right. I mean, if you look, there's a ton of content that we put out as a company. Studio albums, obviously different productions around the country, around the world. There's been books published. There's pretty extensive backlog of offerings that Blue Man has put out.
It really is. It's quite a brand. It's quite a vision. It's quite a mission. And grew out of the collaboration of three close friends, Chris Wink and Matt Goldman and Phil Stanton, on Manhattan's Lower East Side back in 87, almost 40 years ago, right? Tell us about the
Yeah,
story of a little bit of the origins of it all.
yeah. I can't remember. I think technically, I think it was it's very, very late 80s when these guys started getting together, and I think they were part of kind of a bigger group of people at that time looking to, kind of create art in the Lower East Side where it was still a little dirty, a little grungy. I think people looked at that area like, kind of with their noses up a bit. And they started going out in Central Park. They had this thing called the Funeral for the 80s. And they had this, burning barrel, and they kind of put things in there. They kind of had this ceremony for that decade, putting things away and kind of, welcoming the 90s. And in those couple years, they kind of developed this character more into a show. And they performed at a historical venue called La Mama, and eventually found their way to start the official first Blue Man show at Astor Place Theater in their residency. In that way, I think was 91. And from that point on, it stayed in that theater. People loved it. They came in droves, and it only closed a year ago. So, I mean, it was an incredible amount of time that they spent in New York as a whole. And I mean, it's still there. We still have the people there and the culture, and now it continues to thrive in new kind of ways around the world.
I just want to show, if you joined us late, folks, take a look at this, a little sample, a little sizzle reel from Blue Man Group. It's really incredible. You got to get tickets. We're going to show you how you can get tickets to a particular performance. They're going to be coming to Southern New England and to Connecticut at the incomparable Palace Theater, which is in Waterbury, Connecticut, which is a spectacular place. Matter of fact, that place was opened. The very first performer there was Tony Bennett. And they went through a multi-million, like a $30 million renovation a few years back. And when they reopened again after this incredible $30 million renovation, it was incredible because the person that came out on stage to reopen it was Tony Bennett.
Oh,
and some of the incredible performers that have been there are extraordinary. So to have Blue Man Group there, it's going to be amazing. And there's how you can get tickets. But take a look at this tiny little sampler we have. And we also have one from our friends at Palace Theater. You'll be able to get tickets, be able to go, you'll be able to enjoy it. Take a look at this first. Now, if that's not a teaser, I don't know what is. Take a look at this one as they're coming to the incredible Palace Theater, which is in Connecticut.
Blue Man Group's North American tour is coming to Waterbury's Palace Theater March 3rd through 4th. Experience a blend of captivating music, interactive art, and audience engagement that exhilarates the senses and uplifts spirits. Tickets are on sale now at palacetheaterct.org.
Really, really cool. I like the announcers. I like the announcers voice too. Right. Here's another cool promo. Take a look at this, gang.
Blue Man Group's North American tour is coming to Waterbury's Palace Theater March 3rd through 4th. Dive into the thrilling Blue Man Group experience. A blend of captivating music, interactive art, and audience engagement. Blue Man Group creates a fun, disruptive, and out-of-the-ordinary atmosphere that exhilarates the senses and uplifts spirits for audiences of all ages. Tickets are on sale now at palacetheaterct.org.
And there you go. There is the screen for you as well, folks. You can get your tickets coming up in March, and you can go to palacetheaterct.org to get the tickets. Again, I've been to many, many shows there. I've even welcomed acts on stage there on behalf of the Palace. It's been extraordinary. Some amazing people have been there. Casey and the Sunshine Band, Carol Burnett. I mean, the best of the best. And of course, Blue Man Group. You guys must be excited, huh? You get a chance to, what you're really great about, which I think is fantastic, with all the work and the blood, sweat, and tears and all the toil that goes into it. You guys are very responsive and appreciative of the fans. There's like a cult-like following for Blue Man Group. People, can talk about concerts and music and performances from 15, 20 years ago that they remember vividly. You have some real super, super fans. What is that like for you guys? Because you're so, again, appreciative of them and you give back tenfold, which I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's humbling, honestly, to be a part of something that creates that kind of draw. It also, though, it makes sense to me because I think people are obviously drawn to things that have this intense kind of connection and this intense sense of uplifting and light and joy, and it is humbling. It is like truly an honor to be able to be in a show and be a part of a group and a community that provides that. I mean, obviously, it's an honor to be an artist in that way, or somebody who creates art in that way. But also, it honestly any given night, I find so much joy in being on stage, in being able to connect with people in that way, and to see people afterwards, and to see the greater community, of fans of Blue Man Group is really inspiring, and definitely helps um, encourage, I think, us to continue to strive towards having this show and whatever future versions of it not disappoint those people.
Now, how did you get involved, Patrick? What were you doing before, getting connected with such an iconic group that was already there, already established, beloved? How did this opportunity come your way?
Well, it's funny. Some people come into it really wild angles. We have, a couple performers that have come from really different backgrounds. We have a biochemist that came into the show. Weirdly, we have some people that came from more traditional paths, and I was somebody who came from more traditional path. My parents were music teachers growing up, both in the public education system and then in a private studio out of our home. So I grew up kind of listening to music, and then my parents got me involved in theater pretty young as well. And I went to university for musical theater, and was working on my undergraduate degree there. And I had seen Blue Man in somewhere in that period. And this was a long time ago, but I kind of submitted my information to them, and they saw that I had, some of the requisite skills, and invited me to audition. And then it was a whole process of kind of going. I went to Chicago, I went to New York to kind of start this process where they see you in bits and pieces, and then invite you to another thing and another thing, and then you kind of go into this Blue Man boot camp that lasts a while, and then you go into the show and you have this trial period. It's pretty extensive. But at this point, I've given the majority of my adult career to the show and to this character, and like I said before, it's like an incredible honor. It is really humbling, but is also extremely rewarding.
Absolutely. It sure is. I don't doubt, my friend. And what can people expect when they come to one of these incredible performances of Blue Men Group? Or just don't expect anything. Just let
I
it
mean,
happen, right?
ideally, yeah, there is something magical about coming into this experience and not knowing anything about it and kind of just receiving it. But I've said this before as well, just as like another little tag, that I think that if like a rock concert, a comedy show, and a party all had a baby, that would be like a Blue Man Group show. And like hopefully that gives you a little tinge of what might happen. But yeah, it's fun to see people come in and just be totally floored by what they're seeing for the first time.
It's what's really cool about it is there's not only the musicianship and the music and the drumming and just all the things that happen in that regard, but the choreography and, like we say, the staging and the lighting is extraordinary too. So it really is a full on epic performance. You're going to have an opportunity to see so many things coming at you. Talk a little bit about how they come up with the musical selections, and then also the lighting, the sets, the design, the choreography, all of these things that go into it, to have it, play off so beautifully and so in sync as it is.
Yeah, it's a really, the development of all of it, behind the scenes and over the years, and then even on, I think, a nightly basis, is this kind of beautiful marriage of preparation and then inspiration, because there is a ton of work that goes on behind the scenes. You learn, we develop the music, we develop these pieces, we develop the ability to then perform them. But then, we also are super open to what happens in the moment while we're doing these things. And so musical pieces might develop or change when we realize, oh, you know what? Actually, the audience responds to this thing that we totally didn't realize they would respond to. So let's change the music, or let's change this piece. Let's change the way that we move on the stage during, this part of the show. So it is a really strange kind of mix of like, hey, let's do all this work ahead of time, and then let's be open to whatever happens, and totally, like flip on a dime, on the edge of a sword. It's always living on this point where, things could move in a totally different direction than from where we expected.
I always talk about how, also working in television, radio, and film, and doing the work, sometimes, especially if you're on live or what have you, and you're putting all your energy out there and all the adrenaline and everything, you're in that zone, everything is going. It takes forever to try to go to bed, to try to sleep, to try to come down from that. Now, you guys, I mean, you're giving 110%, and it's extraordinary. It must take days to fall asleep. You probably haven't slept in 3 days, right?
Yeah, exactly. I never sleep. We just don't ever go to sleep, and then we can just keep it going. The sustenance of the show just is continually feeding us. No, it is. People, again, I don't know that anyone really thinks about that, but that's a great point to make. There is a high that you get from doing this kind of thing. Obviously, there's adrenaline. You're moving around. You're running around for 90 minutes straight. But there is also that high, that like intangible that you get, the energy that you receive from people, a room full of people, up to thousands of people, all just like throwing this energy back at you. It is kind of indescribable, and sometimes it's hard to afterwards come back and just be like, all right, time to go to bed. Like it just doesn't happen like that. So some of us have, very interesting routines to get to the point where you can then settle down and get the rest you need to come back and do it again.
It's really amazing too, because you guys, if people have not seen them on television or in a live performance, there's a number of themes too that often come, like science and technology, which is amazing because you bring in plumbing and fractals and human sight and DNA and information overload, innocence, when the Blue Men appear to be surprised and perplexed by common artifacts of modern society or by audience reactions, self-conscious and naive, imitation of cultural norms, such as trying to stage an elegant dinner of Twinkies for an audience member, or following the rock concert instruction manual with the expectation that following instructions is all it takes to put on a rock concert. Rooftops, climbing to the top, a metaphor for the directive that Stanton, Wink, and Goldman drew from Joseph Campbell and Bill Moyer's PBS program, Joseph Campbell and the Power of Myth. Following your bliss. There's so many different real deep themes that come into play as we're seeing the artistry and hearing the music and everything else, right? We are left with a full-on experience.
Yeah. I mean, going back to, I think, what you said before about just the accessibility of the show, and being available to people of all ages and all different backgrounds. And it's pretty awesome to see the different reactions from people, because some people that we talk to leaving the show will comment on something, maybe that we're like, oh yeah, great, I'm glad that you loved this part of the show, and that maybe it was a very kind of what might seem as an obvious part of the show. And then other things, you get reactions where people take something that is really more, an underlying theme, or like you mentioned the Joseph Campbell thing, or like fractals. Not everybody knows some of these terms or knows kind of the depth of some of these pieces. And I think that's a really unique thing about Blue Man, is that it offers this wide range of experiences for such a wide range of people. And it's really rewarding to see when, people are like, oh, I saw that, or I saw that, I really connected to this thing. It's, again, just a joy to have that kind of interaction.
It really is. What do your family and friends think? They must be excited that you're a part of such an iconic group too, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I have a super supportive family and a friend group. And I actually just had, we were just in Detroit, which I'm from Michigan. So we did a sweep of Michigan, and I had, I have like, aunts and uncles and cousins coming to the show, and friends flew in from other areas of the country to see the show, and to have that kind of support is like, it means the world to me. I'm so lucky to have the people in my life that I do, that have been supportive for so long as well. And sometimes that means, when I'm off tour, letting me come and stay with them, and other times it means that they show up to the actual theater and where we are in the country, and see the show themselves, and I could have that personal interaction with them. That's like a private little personal boon that I have, as well as having the joy that I receive from just seeing the people every night.
It's really incredible. We want to show again a couple of clips here for folks maybe just joining us. They are touring the country now, and of course you can go to blueman.com, and also we have the website information for palacetheaterct.org for those who are in the Connecticut, Massachusetts region, or even coming up from New York. You can see that at that amazing place. We've seen many great shows there, and there's blueman.com as well. And again, you can't get enough. Just little teasers here. You got to go and get the tickets and enjoy, folks. You will thoroughly enjoy these concerts because they give it their all, and they're just mesmerizing. And kids too. I mean, they go wild. And I would rather, they probably beg dad to take them to the hardware store, and suddenly they want to buy blue paint or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, they want their bedroom painted blue. You know how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at this gang.
Blue Man Group's North American tour is coming to Waterbury's Palace Theater March 3rd through 4th. Experience a blend of captivating music, interactive art, and audience engagement that exhilarates the senses and uplifts spirits. Tickets are on sale now at palacetheaterct.org. Blue Man Group's North American tour is coming to Waterbury's Palace Theater March 3rd through 4th. Dive into the thrilling Blue Man Group experience. A blend of captivating music, interactive art, and audience engagement. Blue Man Group creates a fun, disruptive, and out-of-the-ordinary atmosphere that exhilarates the senses and uplifts spirits for audiences of all ages. Tickets are on sale now at palacetheaterct.org.
Pretty exciting when you see it. You're like, wait, that's us.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, I want to see that show.
It's cool stuff, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
So how do you balance, the demands of being a part of Blue Man Group with just everyday living? And what are some things you like to do, Patrick, as people are meeting you here for the first time on the Jim Masters Show series? What are some things you like to do to keep you? That's a high energy show. So what do you do to balance out and reboot, calm down? Do you take a swim in the ocean or Lake Michigan? Or
Honestly,
that's a little cold about now.
It is, but I appreciate a polar plunge once in a while.
Actually, they say it's good for the circulation, right?
They do. I honestly, and a big part of what I do and what we do outside of the show is kind of body care. Obviously that the show is such a high intensity thing. There is a lot of effort put into taking care of ourselves, taking care of our bodies. I spend a lot of time, if I can, resting, but then also, like there's a lot of kind of maintenance. I have a pretty strict kind of regimen in how I take care of myself. I do a lot of yoga. That helps a lot of stretching. And then, but we find time to also, get out and see wherever we are. If we're on tour, it's really rewarding, and it's fulfilling to be out in these places, in Waterbury, like exploring what's the local scene, what's the best meal in town, what's the thing you've got to find, in this place that is inspirational to the people there, and that when people come into town, they're like, oh, I'm coming in for that. Like, that's a pretty awesome thing to try to explore as well.
It really is. And we've had lots of different groups over the years here on our celebrity talk show series. Celtic Woman, Celtic Thunder, a lot of
Oh
different
yeah.
groups. And one of the things I ask them, and they've become friends because I've known them for having interviewed them for years on PBS over the years. And then
Yeah.
when we created this show like 6 years ago, they all wanted to come on. So it's really been fantastic. And one of the things I always ask is, I would imagine, whether you're on the tour bus going for hours from city to city, or on planes, packing the luggage, setting up the sets, the whole bit, you become like family, right? Like the guys from Celtic Thunder say, yeah, we're really like brothers. We spend so much time together. We know everything about each other's lives and families, and we're rooting for one another. I would imagine it's a similar atmosphere with Blue Man Group. It's like a family. It's like a brotherhood in a way, right? It's just something special.
It is, definitely, and that's something that I, I don't think that I've taken for granted over the years. I've had just incredible people around me in this company, and some of those people obviously are other Blue Men, and other people are on the crew or in production or in management. I've had people. I started this job at a very young age, and I moved out to Las Vegas to do the show there, which I think could have been a very interesting formula for disaster had I not had some good people around me. But fortunately, I like I said, I had some really incredible people that showed me what it is to obviously be a performer in this show, what it is to be a performer, in general, what it is to be an artist, what it is to be a man, an adult. I've really, really been thankful for the care that a lot of the people around me have given to make sure that I have developed in the way that now I can look back and feel proud of, and look to them and be thankful, and then also try to impart to the other people now that are maybe coming up younger than me, because it is a family. It's a really, really special bond. The way that we talk to each other is really unique. The way that we communicate in this company is unique. Another thing that people just don't maybe necessarily know, but there's some incredible relationships that happen when you do something like this.
I would imagine too, it's really special when somebody comes up to you, maybe like a kid, and they're like, gee, I would like to do that. Gee, it's so cool what you're doing, and I would like to be a artist, a performer, or what have you, or even get into, drumming and all the different aspects, the additional aspects of what you guys deliver. That must be quite special, and it probably happens all the time. Again, Blue Man Group attracts millions of people from around the world, all different backgrounds and ages. Everybody's welcome. But when you get a kid that comes up, it says something. It's got to be extra special, huh?
It is, for sure. I mean, and I was definitely that kid as well. I mean, I wanted to be in the arts and be performing for my entire life. I'm sure that my mother would tell you that I was banging on pots and pans at a very young age, and demanded the spotlight while I was in diapers. So to now have those interactions where you see kids especially, it is extremely humbling and fulfilling, and it also reminds you about the responsibility I think that you have doing something like this, to show up every night, where you have this thing that is really fun and is a joy, but is important too, and important to people like that, younger people who are looking for the right way to go, looking for the right path in life. It is incredibly fulfilling and humbling, and it makes me feel an extreme sense of responsibility.
Right, I would imagine, absolutely. And again, for anybody that needs a lift up, needs some inspiration, wants to really immerse themselves in a unique experience, unlike anything else, you do have to get out there and get tickets sitting near you to the show, because you are going to be blown away. I mean, first time I was exposed to Blue Man Group, um, I was completely blown away. And then the television specials that were on PBS, I just remember the phones ringing off the hook. People were like, holy cow, what are we seeing here? We're used to seeing Sesame Street and Julia Child in this old house.
Yeah.
And what is this? And it
Yeah.
was incredible, absolutely incredible. And the response and just continues to be really incredible. And what's great is the longevity. You guys are, coming up on 40 years of existence, roughly, which is amazing. We'd love to have you guys back, maybe the group review on the show, to help, celebrate the anniversaries coming
Yeah.
up. That would be awesome. It would be a real honor and a pleasure to do that.
Oh, we'd love
But
to.
it would be fantastic. And again, people are very excited when I mention that you were coming on the show, and because they're like, oh my God, I love them. I don't know, when, where, how? And I'm
Yeah.
like, you go to, here's their website. You go to the website for all, if you're watching this, because we have a international audience too. So if you're watching this in America or Canada or what have you, go there. And then if you are in the beautiful Southern New England area, there is the spectacular Palace Theater, which is located in downtown Waterbury, Connecticut. There's lots of restaurants. It's easy to get to off of Interstate 84. You can get there from New York, from Massachusetts is up the road, through Connecticut, what have you. Go get the tickets and go see them, because they are absolutely amazing. And again, you're going to be totally, totally blown away. This is truly a part of the North American tour. Off the top of your head, you're in Philadelphia now at the time of this broadcast. Well, what are some of the other cities you guys are hitting along the way?
We're kind of going all over the place. Let's see. We will be up and down the East Coast a little bit, and then we make our way to the South. I know we kind of head through Texas for a while, and then we even go out west into California. So we're really trying to make our way as many places on this tour that we can, because we haven't been here in a while. And I think that the response, I think, from outreach has been that people are excited to have us back. We're kind of finishing the Midwest a bit, is where we've been, which the reactions have been like unbelievable. Again, like in the show, just receiving all this is like, you can tell people are clamoring for it, which I mean is so incredibly lovely to have that kind of response. But yeah, I think we'll make our way through New England, then kind of the South, and then out west over the next 4 months or so.
They can't get enough of it. They really, really can't. It's part of the North American tour, folks. And again, if you want to see them while they're passing through Connecticut, the Constitution State, get your tickets and take a look at this.
Blue Man Group's North American tour is coming to Waterbury's Palace Theater, March 3rd through 4th. Dive into the thrilling Blue Man Group experience, a blend of captivating music, interactive art, and audience engagement. Blue Man Group creates a fun, disruptive, and out-of-the-ordinary atmosphere that exhilarates the senses and uplifts spirits for audiences of all ages. Tickets are on sale now at palacetheaterct.org.
That's really cool, folks. And there you go. As the fine announcers said, palacetheaterct.org for the Palace Theater performances. And again, there's their website as well. Check out all the other cool things that they're doing. They've got, there's merch. There's a lot of cool things. I got to say, doing announcing and on-air work myself, the announcer, I mean, it almost sounds like it's a voice. It's God's voice coming out of
Yeah,
so
it's fantastic.
be there.
I wanted to narrate my life every morning. Good morning. Now it's time for coffee.
Right. Patrick Newton, possibly related to Sir Isaac Newton. Maybe. You never know.
Let's hope so.
If you do the DNA, you dig in there, my friend.
Right.
Well, I know that you guys are busy. You're on tour. I don't want to keep you too long, but what are some of those blessings and joys in your life that keep you out there performing, doing, creating, being a part of this iconic Blue Man Group? And what are some of the joys that you're getting out of this total experience?
I think it's really an adventure being on a tour like this. Getting, like I said before, getting to go to all these kind of new places and see sometimes through the lens of a tourist, but also through the locals that we work with. You find kind of these gems in each of these places that are kind of the best parts of everywhere you go. It's really interesting to kind of have the perspective of the highlights of the country, the highlights of the world sometimes. But for this tour, seeing the best parts of America, because that is something that not everybody gets to do. Like, even if you go on vacation for a bit, obviously you might get to see something, but to continually go around the country and see the best parts of why people love this country is absolutely, like, it floors me. It is extremely inspiring. Obviously the relationships, the people, the conversations, but then you find these little things, whether it's like a restaurant, or whether it's a national park, or whether it's some local celebrity. You see why people love to be here and why people care so much about having the identity of being in this country, and that it's truly inspiring.
It really is. That's a beautiful way to put it. And big year too, with the 250th birthday of America, tying in with that. There's just so many wonderful things going on. Folks, we're talking with Patrick Newton. He is Blue Man captain. You don't hang out with the other captain, with Captain Kirk, William Shatner, do you?
I mean, we're on a call every Friday, so
every Friday to talk captain to captain, right? Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. Well, a blast having you on the Jim Masters Show series, my friend. Thanks. I know it's a busy time for you. You guys are on tour. You're in the city of brotherly love right now, good old Philadelphia. Come back and see us again. Safe travels. Say hi to the rest of the gang. I know it takes a village. There's a lot of amazing people behind the scenes who work hard to put all these shows together and keep that whole Blue Man Group branding and the image and the vibe and the feel all intact. There's a certain way that it's presented. There's a certain image, a certain vibe and feeling, and it takes a lot of work behind the scenes to master that. And you do such a beautiful job. A real pleasure to get a chance. I've seen these shows. I'm a flag waver for Blue Man Group, always have been.
Thank you.
And it's a real privilege and pleasure to have you with us, Patrick. And I truly wish you continued success. Come join us again. Spread the word about our show. And I hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. This has been an honor and a pleasure.
The pleasure is absolutely all mine. You be well, my friends. Say hi to everybody and come join us again, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks. You're going to go have a Philly cheesesteak now?
Absolutely.
Two. He's in Philadelphia. We'll see you guys. We'll see you at the Palace. We're going to be there.
Sounds good.
Maybe we'll say a quick hi. It'll be awesome.
Please do.
I'll let them know. Absolutely. You be well, my friend. Okay.
Thanks. You too.
All right. Take care now. Patrick Newton, captain. Really, really cool to have him here on the show, folks. Let me show you really quickly. We do have this again. It's so cool. It's just a short little clip. It's just a little teaser to show you what their shows are really like. They are absolutely amazing. We always wanted to have, the Blue Man Group here on the show, and to get a chance to chat with them. And of course, there's more. They are getting things set for the shows that they have there in Philadelphia. But to have Patrick on was a blast. Take a look at this. And again, they're coming to the beautiful Palace in Waterbury, Connecticut. Tickets available. Take a look at this.
Blue Man Group's North American tour is coming to Waterbury's Palace Theater March 3rd through 4th. Experience a blend of captivating music, interactive art, and audience engagement that exhilarates the senses and uplifts spirits. Tickets are on sale now at palacetheaterct.org.
How cool, right? Their North American tour is in full swing at the time of this broadcast. Because if you're watching this a year from now, it will have already passed. But make sure whenever you see that they're coming to a city near you, get your tickets, go out, let them know you heard about them, maybe on the Jim Masters Show Celebrity Talk Show series, if this is the first time you ever heard about Blue Man Group. But I highly doubt that. I would imagine you've probably been to many of their shows. If you haven't, it really is super cool, folks. It really, really is. Just the set design, the lighting, the artistry, the music, the drumming, just it's unbelievable what they do. And they are super, super talented. They are really incredibly talented. The physicality of what they do is extraordinary. It really, really is. What an honor to have Patrick Newton, Blue Man Captain, joining us here on the show and telling us a little bit about behind the scenes, how it's all put together, the history of Blue Man Group, and of course, sprinkling in some tidbits about their big North American tour that's happening. Again, you can go to their website, which is right here on your screen, blueman.com. And again, get your tickets to palacetheaterct.org to enjoy an amazing show coming up at that fabulous, fabulous theater. We love them there. They're such great people. They work hard behind the scenes at that theater too. If you've never been there, it is absolutely incredible. Hey, gang, you can follow us right there on your screen on all the socials. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, and X at Jim Masters TV. Come say hi. And of course, our channel where we air or where all of these shows are archived is the channel that you're watching right now. It is our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. And you know what? We would love it if you could give us some lovity, as we call it. And if you loved this episode or any of the shows that we put on here at our Celebrity Talk Show series, give this episode a thumbs up, share it. Share it right from our YouTube channel, right on your social media. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and drop a comment below. Have you ever been to a Blue Man Group concert performance? Have you ever been to one of their shows? If you have, drop a comment below. What do you love most? What do you love best about Blue Man Group? I love everything. They're just so unbelievable. The artistry, the talent, the musicianship, the choreography, the lighting, the staging. It really is a super, super performance. But what do you like about it? We love hearing from our viewers. Drop a comment below. Is this the first time you ever heard of Blue Man Group? Have you been to many of their concerts? Are you a super fan? Do you go to all their concerts? And a lot of times, there are people who will literally go from city to city because they want to see that artist and they just love them so much. I've met people over the years in my television work. I'll see them at meets and greets. Maybe I'm emceeing a show or something. And these people will be at this city and then they'll go to that city and they'll go to that city because they are super fans of that particular artist. If you're a super fan of Blue Man Group and you've been following them maybe for the almost 40 years they've been around, which is really hard to believe, drop a comment below. If you are watching it for the first time, drop a comment below and just let us know what you love about our show. They are really cool. Blue Man Group. Nothing like it, folks. And Patrick Newton, Blue Man Captain, joining us here on the show. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. It's always a blast. It's always a pleasure. It's always an honor to have you right here on the Jim Masters Show, Celebrity Talk Show series. Spread the word about our show. Come and join us again. We love having you here. Don't forget to love one another, take care of one another, and don't forget to do the very same for yourself. And don't go anywhere, because another great episode of JMS, the Jim Masters Show, is coming up right now. So stay right there. And a reminder, if you want to see any of these episodes again, we archive all of them so you can see this one and any of the other ones we've done. And there are hundreds of them over the many years we've been on the air now. You can see them all archived and watch them again. We love having you here. It really means the world to, know that you're enjoying our series and enjoying the entertainment and these real, not interviews, but conversations with these amazing, amazing people who stop by Lovety Hall and the Jim Masters Show, including Patrick Newton from Blue Man Group. How cool was that? Amazing. And if you're blue, you're having a blue period, go see Blue Man Group. They're going to give you a different kind of blue that just makes you smile and make you feel good. And you're going to leave the theater on a high. It's just going to be incredible. You're going to be talking about the show for weeks to come. I don't even know. People used to talk at the water cooler, remember, about things they saw the night before on TV or a movie or something. I don't even know if they have the water coolers anymore, but now it's all social media. But you're going to be talking about it once you go see it. Thanks, everybody, for being with us. We love having you here. And again, don't go anywhere. Another great episode of our series comes up. And it's always a pleasure to have you here on the Jim Masters Show. We'll see you on the next one. We love you all. Be well, everybody. Take care of one another and do the very same for yourself. See you on, maybe we'll see you at one of these shows too. Maybe we'll see you there. I get a chance to meet a lot of people when I go to the different shows and events too in my line of work and broadcast media. So maybe we'll see you there. But thanks for watching. Take care and be well. Drop a comment. And we'll see you next time on the Jim Masters Show. Cheers.